Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Matthew back with another episode of Watty's channel. We are continuing the My Favorite Hasbro tournament. This is going to be the second episode of round 3. And in the last video, we continued with the random drawing. We selected 5 matchups at random, and we're going to do the same thing in this video. Select another 5 matchups at random, and we're going to close out the next video with the last 4 drawings. So, just diving in to the next set of matchups. This video will feature Giant Gonzalez scoring off against Series 3 Big Boss Man. We're going to see Series 4 Bret Hart square off against Series 3 Macho Man. We've got Animal from Legion of Doom going up against the Custom Sting. This one's going to feature Series 8 Yokozuna, and he will square off against Series 7 Shawn Michaels. And last matchup will feature the Pink and Green Ultimate Warrior, as he does battle against the Series 10 Shawn Michaels. Alright, so I don't have either of the Shawn Michael figures here, so I will grab both of them real quick, and we will begin the video in a split second. Alright, everybody, the first matchup, as we said, was going to feature the Giant Gonzalez going up against Series 3 Big Boss Man. As a kid, I never had any of Series 3 figures, but we did have the Series 1 Big Boss Man, which was a very disproportionate figure. As we all know, a very tiny head with a very big stomach. But the Series 3 figure, again, very much more proportionate, very solid. I believe he was number 10 on my list of all-time favorite Hasbro figures. And an absolute perfect figure, much like the Macho Man from Series 1, and a few other figures, of course, with the positioning of the legs. Extended arm, again, for this figure, it works really well. And, of course, accessory, just like from Series 1, which really blends in the overall figure. And it just looks absolutely fantastic. And with the Digicolor, it really helps. You see some customs here and there, especially with the Series 1 Boss Man, where he's in all black. But I'll take the blue and black over the all black anytime. Really a fantastic figure. Huge Big Boss Man fan. And, of course, on the other side, you've got the Giant Gonzalez. This is one of the toughest matches in this tournament. Only because this is one of those matchups where I have 2 figures that are both on my list of top 10 most coveted or most favorite figures. Giant Gonzalez at one point was probably like number 3 or 4 on my list. Now, as I acquired more and more figures over the months to, before I completed my collection, obviously he fell further and further down my list, and I think eventually he probably ended up at like number 6 or 7, but, as I've said every time I bring up this figure, talk about him, I always feel like nobody ever played with this figure, or possibly never had this figure as a kid, because it doesn't matter who you buy this figure from, the figure is always in mint condition. There's never paint loss. There's never paint bleed. The actions always work. There's never any scuff marks. I mean, it's just an absolutely perfect figure. He, along with Skinner, Ultimate Warrior Series 3, has one of those most perfect fighting poses with the arm positioning the way that it is. Now, when he first entered, what was it, the 93 Royal Rumble, I want to say. I think we actually had rented that pay-per-view, and, he came in, he's walking down the aisle, just an absolute beast. Everyone clears the ring, and you have, like, the freaking Undertaker, who's like 6'10" or so, who's like an absolute giant in his own right. And, he steps up to this man, and the Giant just friggin' hovers over him. They listed the Giant like 8 feet tall. Realistically, I think he was probably more like 7.5, maybe 7'7", 7'8", I don't know. Was he actually 8 feet tall? Probably not, but very close. Man was absolutely huge. I think I remember seeing him in an episode of Baywatch when I was young. I thought that was really cool. His WCW Galoob figure doesn't really do him justice. I don't know what's up with that outfit he's wearing, and the way that he's got his hands up, like he's trying to scare you or something. This figure right here is absolutely amazing. His Galoob doesn't really do him justice, but this is a perfect figure. Now this is a tough call because two fantastic pieces. One, I don't want to eliminate either one of them. I mean, I know eventually either or both of these figures, one or both, are going to have to be eliminated. Whether this one wins the tournament or this one wins the tournament or neither wins the tournament, someone's going to have to go at some point. But at this stage, who do you choose? How do you choose? How do you make that determination? Accessory, the color puts Boss Man ahead. The leg positioning a little bit better, but he's got the extended arm. I'm not a hater of the extended arm. I just don't prefer it because it becomes loose and it's very breakable. I talked about having the Undertaker as a kid, and I think at one point his extended arm broke off, and we always had to use it with just one arm, basically, and that wasn't exactly a lot of fun. So I've never been a huge fan of that, but it works on certain figures. Really cared about Big Boss Man a whole lot more for nostalgic reasons. Didn't really get much of an opportunity to see the Giant wrestle, and whenever you did, he wasn't very mobile or very agile in the ring, so he's not very beloved because of his limited abilities. His little, I call it a bear suit, little skin tight suit that had drawn on muscles and stuff, and a little drawn on or stitched in hair and stuff. That suit, even today, I always loved that look. A lot of people hate it, but I've always been a huge fan. I always thought it looked really cool. So, I would never hate it on that. I can't afford to spend too much time on each individual matchup. Last video ran over 35 minutes. I'm gonna pick the Giant Gonzalez to move on to round 4. For sake of argument, I do rate the Giant Gonzalez as I figure I covet more than Big Boss Man, even though they're both on my top 10. This is a perfect figure. There's no doubt. I just, I can't do it. I can't eliminate the Giant right now. I believe that could be a 5th rounder. Does he get eliminated in round 4? Possibly. I still think he does make it into round 5 at least, though. But does he make it into round 6? We shall see. The next matchup is going to feature Series 4 Bret Hart scoring off against the Series 3 Macho Man. And yes, even Series 3 Macho Man, I put the Macho King accessories on him. And, Series 2 Macho King or the Series 3 Macho Man, the exact same figure. You got the hole in the hand, So you could still give him the same exact accessories that the Series 2 has. The only difference between this figure is the fact that they put Macho Man on the back. Now, you look at like a Series 2 Jim Duggan and a Series 9 Jim Duggan. 99% of that figure, well, let's say 90% of that figure is the same. But then they change out the hair from brown to blonde, and they drill a hole in the hand so that he can carry a flag. So, not exactly 100% identical. This figure, 99% identical. Again, they change out man or change out king with man. That's it. No change to the actual figure. So I'm trying to think what else I do this with other figures as well. Like a jacket accessory for like my Series 4 Undertaker. Does Undertaker come with an accessory? No. The Series 8 Undertaker comes with a cloak jacket, but I'll put a cloak on a Series 4 as well. You know, whatever accessory I can add on. You know, it looks cool. So, here we go again. Another Series 3 figure I didn't have. No Series 3. Whereas the Series 4 Bret Hart is one of my oldest, one of my most well-known, one of my longest tenured, one of my most played with action figures ever. Based on that nostalgic reasons, the Bret Hart figure in this matchup would absolutely destroy the Macho Man figure. And it would be really difficult, to say the least. I would say impossible for me to find a legitimate reason to push the Macho Man figure past Bret Hart at this moment. I do have the Series 8 Bret Hart still in play. And I do have the custom Bret Hart still in play. If I eliminate this Macho Man, that's it. There's no more Macho Man figures in the competition. But can I seriously make that determination just for that reason? The way that the legs are spread apart, the arm positioning, the fight pose. When I thought of this tournament, no brainer. Series 4 Undertaker or Series 4 Bret Hart. I mean, how could I possibly choose any other figure? Those are my two most played with figures. Those are two figures I remember best more than anything else. Of course, those two would win the tournament. How could I possibly choose any other figure? It makes no sense for me to choose any other figure. And you know what? This figure does so much. I said it was really difficult to either choose between this one or the Series 1 Macho Man. I think I would have to go with this version of Macho Man among the Hasbro as my favorite version. Series 1 is very close, but I think I like this Series 2 or Series 3, whichever one prefer. I mean, I like the Series 3 only because it's the Macho Man is more valuable, even though Series 2 comes with accessories. But I can't. Everything from color to playability to nostalgia. The Bret Hart figure to me is it's everything. You just can't find a better figure. Very difficult. I'm gonna put it that way. So yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna be very mad because we all love Macho Man, and with this elimination, that's it. No more Macho Man in the tournament, but I mean, what else can I do? I have to go with the best figures, and you know, luck of the draw. That's just how it played out. Next matchup is going to feature Animal from Legion of Doom, Series 4, going against the Custom Sting. I've talked about it before. Denver Moore on eBay. So this, for those that don't remember or that's seeing this video for the first time, this Sting figure, you'll see a couple versions of this figure. So back in 1991, Galoob came out with this as a UK exclusive. On card, you're probably looking at about a $400 figure. Loose, you're probably looking at about $200, maybe a little bit less. When you're probably buying it from a UK seller more than likely, so you're paying up because of shipping costs as well, shipping and taxes obviously. But you're paying triple digits. You're paying $100+ for that figure, nonetheless. Obviously, later on when Galoob disbanded and became Original San Francisco Toymakers, you also have from Original San Francisco this same exact figure, in 7-inch format. Nowhere near as valuable. Even on card, this figure is probably about a $40 figure, if that. I mean, I'm probably being generous. Probably more like 20 to 30, but we'll call it 40 just for sake of argument. So Denver, he created that version of Sting, and he created it in Hasbro style. And that is absolutely fantastic. I would actually really love if Random Treasures actually made this figure in LJN style. They're already doing... Actually, no, I moved it. Never mind. Today we had Surf Pro come in and do the carpet cleaning. So once the carpet got dried enough, I laid down the wooden planks on the floor. Because I had so many figures, I decided to move the figures that were right here with all of the Galoob 2-ups that Random Treasures had made, and I put them over with the original LJN figures, so they're on the floor on the very bottom plank underneath the Series 6 figures. I mean, I really had nothing else put on that floor area, so I figured, you know what, I'll put the 2-ups there. That way it gets more space for more 2-ups. But yeah, if they start coming out with some Series 2 figures, I would love to see this figure. Animal, Legion of Doom in general, just like the Nasty Boys, just like the Steiner Brothers, you're talking about 3 elite tag teams from Hasbro. The Head Shrinkers are a fantastic tag team. I don't know if I'd quite rate them as elite, but they are a spectacular tag team. And what else you got? The Bushwhackers, either Series 2 or 10, both great figures. It's just, I hate the fact that they don't stand. So, not quite elite. Either version that you like. Series 2 rockers aren't really anything to talk about, to write home about, but any of the first 3, the Steiner Brothers, the Nasty Boys, or Legion of Doom, any one of those 6 figures could be on your list of top 10 or at the very worst top 20 of the greatest Hasbro figures. This is an absolutely perfect, fantastic, love the figure. Can't get enough a type of deal right here. Again, a lot of customizers, they make Legion of Doom, but they don't put the darn chest plates on, and this is what makes everything perfect. If Random Treasures had made this chest plate as part, even if it was a removable accessory, that would have been so perfect. I mean, you're already paying $400 for this tag team. If they had added that extra accessory, especially if it was a removable accessory, that may have actually made it worth the money, made it worth the $400. But one of the best face paints of the entire series, of the entire line. The chest plate and everything around it is just fantastic. The look of it is great, and again, the Hogan / Warrior, Bulldog, I don't know, Ludwig Borga, gazillion other characters that have this pose. It's a very serviceable fighting figure. You know, you'd like your figures to have their hands closed for punching, but you know, you could still sit there and pretend to be throwing punches and stuff. So, is he gonna move on to round 4? The toughest part about this is the Sting figure might actually be the superior figure in comparison, but the Sting figure is also an immovable object. You can't move the arms, you can't move the legs, head, or nothing. It's a stationary figure, so basically it's like dealing with another Galoob figure, essentially. Can you push a Hasbro figure that doesn't move into a 4th round, into a round that's basically designed for the most elite figures, past one of Hasbro's best? I'm gonna have to. I do love the animal figure, but once again, Denver's figures are just tearing it up again. That's 2 figures that he has now that have made it all the way into round 4. And I talked about, what was it, round 2? I talked about 2 of his figures, the Nasty Boys, that I still have hanging up, which I hadn't included in this tournament, which I should have. And I'm curious if I had pulled those figures, and if they were included in this tournament like they should have been, if they too would have made it into round 4. Because imagine if all of his figures had gone that far. You know, I think we could have been talking about a new favorite Hasbro customizer, or at least, you know, one that deserves to be rated very high. But that is the, what was that, the second? Nope, that was third matchup. Matchup number 4 is going to feature one of the most difficult matches. And it is Series 7 Shawn Michaels against Series 8 Yokozuna. Light years better from Series 2 to Series 7. Shawn Michaels is just a copycat of the Series 1 Macho Man figure. Everything from painted gloves to the body of Macho Man. They just chopped off the head, threw on a new Shawn Michaels head, repainted the pants to give him his more infamous red and white pants, giving them what they call the sexy boy look. Right after he betrayed Marginetti, became a solo artist, so to speak. Intercontinental champion, heavyweight champion. Definitely one of the greatest wrestlers, greatest champions of all time. Just one of the greatest athletes, one of the greatest professionals. No matter how you feel about Shawn Michaels, there will never be, or there could not be, one like him again. He is one of the best, as I said, one of my personal favorites. I think he's like number 6 or so on my all-time favorite wrestlers. 5 or 6, somewhere around there. He and Undertaker probably swap back and forth now and then. But he's going to square off against, in my opinion, the epitome of all wrestling action figures. And everything from the weight of the figure, which I absolutely covet, to the bona fide look. Let's see if I get this robe off. I haven't taken the robe off on any of these videos. Only Hasbro has been able to make a real bona fide Yokozuna figure. Again, no other maker, not Mattel or anyone, has ever come close to getting the real look. I mean, come on. Look how perfectly rotund and round the body is. I'm not trying to make fun of the guy or anything like that. It's just, they got his body shape so perfect. there's a reason he's like right there near the top, if not at the top of my list. It is such a fantastic figure, and it is so like every time I sit there and I hold this in my hand, you can just feel the value in your hand, and it's like you don't even want to. Sometimes you may not even want to wrestle these guys, but then you get them in your hand and like you just want to just goof off for a few moments. It's like when you're holding your LJNs at the same time. Even though I grew up with Hasbro's, I really don't get the same like need to do battle with them as much as I do with the LJNs, but I definitely get that feeling when I hold the Yokozuna. Well, it depends on which figures you're holding. Obviously, some figures hold more meaning. Like right now, not just Yokozuna, but Shawn Michaels too. Yeah, I would love to sit there and have a little wrestling match with these two guys right now. This is a tough one, guys. Series 7 Shawn Michaels is a perfect figure. I know he would not defeat Series 10 on a 1-to-1 matchup. Series 10 is still in this competition. So I am going to select Yokozuna to surpass the Series 7 Shawn Michaels. If Series 7 can't top Series 10, then I don't know. If Series 10 defeats Yokozuna, or if Yokozuna defeats Series 10, etc. If Series 10 can't defeat this one, then there's no way that this one would be able to defeat him. At least that's how I look at it. So, Yokozuna is going to defeat Shawn Michaels. Alright, last matchup is going to feature the last Shawn Michaels in this competition. It will be Series 10 Shawn Michaels going against the Robert Jackson Ultimate Warrior. Right off the bat, we already know that Shawn Michaels Series 10 is a far superior action figure to a Series 1 Ultimate Warrior. Now, the custom job from Robert is absolutely amazing, and it's why I talk about this one so frequently. The custom work on this figure is so splendid. It's literally one of my all-time favorite Robert Jackson figures, whether we're talking Hasbro or LJN. Now, the Hasbro Series 1 Warrior, we had as kids, of course. Once we got the Series 2 Warrior, we basically had no more use for this one. Series 2 was my favorite figure, or my favorite version of Ultimate Warrior for like the longest time until I started collecting as an adult and found the Series 3 version. But let's be honest, the Series 1 Ultimate Warrior is still a great figure. There is nothing to take away from this amazing piece. So I don't know what more can one really say about the Series 1 figure. The only downside, and it's a downside you find with any of these figures, it's the fused legs. It's the fused legs, and it's that little action piece that sticks out of the back. If you were to spread his legs apart like a Series 2 Ultimate Warrior, you probably wouldn't even needed to have a Series 2 Warrior. Or if you did, you could have still used the same piece, kept the same body, just did the repaint. I still covet the Series 1 Ultimate Warrior, and we're not even talking about the custom. I'm talking about the original. I still think it's a great figure. I just don't think that a lot of people give it the credit it deserves simply because it's a fused leg figure. But again, you can customize the heck out of a Series 1 Ultimate Warrior. You can pretty much customize the heck out of any Series 1 or Series 2 action figure. There's really very few figures in the entire Hasbro line that could compete with a Series 10 Shawn Michaels. Very few figures. And unfortunately, Ultimate Warrior, no matter how good it is, unless it's a Series 3 Ultimate Warrior, yeah, you're not going to have that comparison. Series 10 Shawn Michaels easily defeats Series 1 Custom Ultimate Warrior. So, with that matchup, that does close out the second of 3 videos here in the third round. I don't believe I will make a third video today, or technically today I've made 2 LJN videos, Series 3 review, and I've made 2 videos for the Hasbro tournament. So I don't know, I might come down here to finish off the last video to close out round 3, but if I don't, there's still plenty of time to finish off that video before these videos get uploaded. So alright, so far what's left over is Berserker, Series 9 Duggan, Andre the Giant, Series 3 Warrior, the Jake Custom, the Honky Tonk Custom, Series 8 Bret Hart, Series 8 Undertaker, and the Series 11 Custom Crush. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yep, 9 figures. 9 figures, 4 matchups. The last matchup will feature a 1-on-1-on-1. Alright, once again everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. You guys are definitely the best. Talk to you guys in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye everyone.